Welcome back, guys, into another daily recap. This time, of course, the first day of the month, first day of the quarter on gold, Bitcoin, and EuroDollar. Let's start with gold, as always. There you go. Analysis from the morning. We were expecting exactly this movement. Remember that is the start of the quarter, start of the new month. We can expect, since the optimism is still very present, we can expect price to make a higher. If we look on the high time frame, to make a top week on the monthly time frame, which we did, in order to then, in the next few weeks, with the time of tapering, breaking below 1680, we can continue on the way down. Of course, investors are not just straight renting. They're going to take the better prices to get better sell price points for themselves. There you go. So what we were waiting, we were expecting upward. We were expecting a bounce of 1751, which we got, as you can see. We never got the break below 1751, so all this analysis was invalid, but that was unnecessary because we got the bounce here. We got a bounce for around 100 pips, as you can see. We were expecting a reaction, possible reaction, 1759.5. We initially got it because if you see now, we're going on the 1 minute, we got the 130 pips here doing New York. But as you can see, we got a huge rejection from 1764, even closing below 1759, going back below 1754. We got then a break, but still very undecisive. We got a break and retest, more of the key level of this, as you can see, PSA on the left hand side. Let's jump into the 1 minute. Okay. As you can see here, zoom in. Okay, from London session, we had 1751, 1759, 1764 as key levels, and we had, of course, 1753, 54 as a PSA, intermediate PSA that we still use and was already pre-planned. As you can see, we just ranging, coming into London session, we have a pullback, bearish correction, but as you can see, as I showed you in the on the analysis, we never got to break below these price points, and you got many confirms for entering scalp. Then you have the reaction on the previous level, go back into the range, still failing to break below. If we zoom in, you see here the double bottom with a strong rejection. Look at this candle. This is the setup that I trade. Break below, double bottom, we are above. This candle was completely bearish, was completely red at one point, but got rejected and flipped bullish. This candle doesn't need any lower wick because this liquidity gap already did the job. So really important to understand it. Where were we? Ooh, there you go. No. Yeah, more or less like this. I just change this one like this. It's fine. It's fine. Doesn't really matter. We saw the correction. We saw the double bottom with the entry here. So confirming into New York. New York making the lower wick and giving you lower wick, giving you the confirm here for break and retest. Very high risk reward entry. Safer entry here above the PSA, and then just straight to the key level. 80 pips in a few minutes with high scalable entry, safer with confirm of the trend in place. Then of course you see bouncing and bouncing off this PSA. Again at the key level, bouncing off this previous PSA, breaking above really quick, very taking advantage of the momentum to 1764, failing to break, and then a huge pullback. Again, retesting this same previous PSA that was formed. As you can see, look at this PSA, intermediate PSA, how it caused reactions. There you go. Here, look how many. Candle stopped, candle stopped, candle stopped, candle stopped. As you can see here. After that, just price ranging, no more momentum. And this was gold with the buys playing out after the rejection of 1751 as per pre-analysis. As you can see here, 1751. Let's go on Bitcoin. As you can see, this one is an old one. Some rejection. We were seeing the bullish trend. As you can see, bullish trend. We look at pullback, 43,100. Never got this far. Immediately broke above. Confirms of buyer trend. We are on the block top, so we have to be careful of these price sensitivity areas on the left hand side. And we need clear intraday closures above 44 and possibly 44 to 50 to have confirms. Of course, the intraday confirms above 45 were too much, already too high. But as you can see, the confirms above 44 flat, we got them here. If you look on the hourly time frame, look where we reacted. Look, break above 44. 44 was actually here. Very strong action, exactly. We can retesting this PSA, and then and here we are at this previous PSA. So you see that it caused the reaction. Break and retest. Now we are up already 150 pips from this previous retest. Going to revisit these previous highs at 49. Remember that 50k is a very strong supply area, very strong. Or even 52. So this was the analysis. Buys above 44, which played out for hundreds of pips. On the, it's not even in the chart. I cannot fit everything in the chart unless I do like this. Remember that each one of these is 25 pips. So how can I explain this to you? We saw the break above 44K. When we broke above, we had all the confirms of price already trending. So this was a high risk reward entry, very valid. You see that in a couple of 3 hours, you get, yes, you get like this is 100 pips range. So you get your scalp to nice taking profits if you have very, or either you are, let me zoom in. You are aware of this wedge being created. And then you enter when you see flat candle body support over here. Otherwise, there's no entry, right? Unless you enter here impulsively with no stop loss, just randomly. And then you got very strong price action reacting exactly at this at the PPLs, getting the rejection exactly at the PPLs, bouncing off 46,800, and since then very slow but steady bullish trend. Very nice. Now we are, and this was after London close. Another 70 pips, just like this, very slowly, but it took many hours, 6 hours, of course, but look, a nice price action. EuroDollar, exactly the same as gold, we had the same expectations of the start of the quarter with a bullish trend, bullish momentum, and the rejection at the previous PSAs. As you can see, we were expecting rejection either here, 1608, this was the key level, 1608, or these previous lows. Look, that break above, so 18 pips on the upside, 20 pips on the downside. Let's jump on the 1 minute. As you can see, we were at these previous lows here, 15,705, as you can see, almost touching it, but nope. And we get this nice price action, double top, rejection, exactly reacting at the same lows, failing to make new highs. Again, deeper pullback, basically in the same area, basically at this PSA, missing it for 1 pip, 2 pips, and from there, what you see is water block here at these previous highs, break, retest, break. We have some price action messy because of this PSA on the left hand side, clean break, retest above the pre-planned PSA, giving you quick and easy 8 pips. High risk, more high time frame retest, continuation up, making new lows, new highs, and then you see and start spotting some exhaustion. Even this retest gave you 10 pips, nice and clean. The only problem was right before New York Open. New York Open, as you can see, in the new hourly 4-hour candle, here we're in a sort of order block being created at the tops, and you never know if the order block means we're going to go further up or we went down. As you can see, then we went down, and we had the confirms when we started making new lower lows and new lower highs. Here, as you can see, we failed to break again the PSA, and then we melted 20 pips, reacting exactly. Look on the left, exactly this previous PSA. After that, very strong correction, very strong ranging, still many reactions exactly at the pre-planned PSA, and moving in a much smaller range in the 10 pips range. So this is it for today. Very nice action and price analysis code. As you can see, we never broke below here, so the sell are not necessary. We have the buys break and retest above this level to revisit this previous PSA, and told you to be aware of 1608. So now this one, as you can see, when you see the reaction, this was during New York, as I showed you, the order block being created. This analysis, okay. Do I see a clear intraday closures above to continuation up to 1630, or I start to see the opposite, because we are at a very, very important PSA and we are exactly here. So you see the reaction and you can take advantage of it. Just jumping back on the 1 minute. Yeah, there confirms. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4 taps of this PSA. This one not even closing above the PSA, with making top wick and then melting down. Very difficult to spot live, of course. I'm not saying it was easy. But then you have the confirmation. When you have the confirmation, this candle was strong bullish, then gets corrected and closed below, break and wick. As you can see, this bearish candle makes a top wick and then melts down. You can enter, if you enter as per setup around here, you almost have 10 pips range with like 3-4 pips stop loss. This is 2-3 to 1, and you are done for the day. Of course, you have many other opportunities, but now price is clearly ranging. As you can see here, you might get the retest here, because if you don't see, if you're here, honestly, you have all the confirms for price to continue down. 1, 2, 3 lower highs. This might be the confirmation. Yeah, the point that is not closing below. Okay, but you enter here. Let's say you enter a short position, or even when the candle flips, doesn't really matter. I don't want to. Okay, here we put the stop loss above here for like 4 pips, 3 pips. What you get here is 1 to 2 for sure. 6 pips, you get them. So at least you get the partials taken. Okay, you get stopped out at break even, but still okay. Then you have to confirm that price is ranging. But 2 to 1 was given anyway. And then you start seeing price ranging. There's not much volume. This was still doing New York. Bitcoin really nice. Let's jump on this one, which is better. why it does that. Look at this PSA, how strong it reacted. Lower entry. This might be the end, an entry. It's a nice stop, I must say. This was huge. Here you have a confirmation, start, see, okay, you have the first confirmation of the reversal. Up, weak, and then closing down, bearish. Break and a retest of the key level of the PPL. You should enter here. When it flips, you have your 50 pips range, even more if you leave it running. Here you might have some confirmations, get stopped out. If you enter here, yes, get stopped out for like 1 pip. But you can always re-enter here when you see price is not even breaking above these previous lows. You have many re-entries here in trend. Look at these weeks. So no, this one is not an entry, for example. How can you enter? No wicks, no nothing, just 25 pips candles randomly. And of course, on the here you identify the wedge and you can enter when the price breaks up. You get very lucky because it's your stop, your take profit before you can even say something. So you get 45 pips. Yeah, you get 45 pips, and then price continues down. Then you see it bearish, you say, oh wow, exactly. But then you see the flipping, very high risk reward entries over there. But look here, how nice the price action and clean is the price action over here. But this is it for today, guys. See you next time.